Madam Deputy Speaker. It feels good to be here agreeing on such an important issue. There are thousands of children walking into schools across the country every day from all backgrounds and faiths who perhaps already know that they are lesbian, gay, bisexual or trans, or just feel different but they don't know it yet. They'll get into school and they'll face homophobic bullying or transphobic bullying from other pupils. 45% of primary school teachers have observed such issue, with nearly half of all LGBT pupils bullied for being LGBT in our secondary schools. And I just say that the government does risk undermining its efforts with these opt-outs. What is the government saying to these children when they say that schools are not required to teach about sex education, LGBT inclusivity and diversity? That learning about heterosexual relationships is age appropriate, but learning about LGBT families requires a PG rating. The introduction of this new statutory RSE was the chance to right this wrong, but the government's guidance must be passed and beefed up. New statutory education relationships education at primary level is a unique chance to ensure that all young people develop inclusive attitudes to LGBT people from a young age. Inclusion from primary can prevent the development of prejudice and wipe out the bullying which leads to so many of our young people developing higher rates of mental health problems and leads more LGBT young people to attempt suicide. Teaching about LGBT families as part of teaching on different families at primary age is vital to ensure young people with LGBT parents see their families reflected in teaching. But I was disappointed to hear the Education Secretary say in a piece for the Times today that it will be up to primary schools to decide whether or not to teach in an LGBT inclusive way. This felt too much like a disclaimer, too much like a trailer for the guidance by way of assuring those objecting to it. Along with 58 of my colleagues from this side of the House, we wrote to the Education Secretary asking this week that he takes a look at the guidance and ensures that LGBT inclusivity in RSE teaching is a requirement, not just a recommendation with opt-outs. This has my full support, but I do think we need to go further. And I would just say, Madam Deputy Speaker, I just want to highlight at this point, there are many gay men and women with deeply held religious views also. Exactly. They are not exclusive to each other, and we need to concentrate far more on examples that highlight the cause and prove the argument that we are joining together in unison on this evening.